All right, we will call the, sorry, I have to mute. Sure, tomorrow I'll try to start a meeting and no one will be able to hear me. I think I have the microphone off today. All right, calling the December 19th, 2024 City of Brentwood Architectural Review Board to order. Calling the roll, called Carl Carlin.
Here.
Paul Turner, not here. Matthew Foreman, here. First item, approval of minutes from November 21st.
No questions. Move to approve.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
No old business this evening. Moving on to new business, 2015 Spanish Drive. Is there an applicant here in the room? Nope. No one is online. Do you agree, Jessica? Since this is a very simple proposal, essentially filling in this door, showing up on the screen with brick, not very visible from the street, already has a fence and a tree, and virtually invisible from the road, especially with a grade change. I think this is simple enough we can review without the applicant in the room.
I would agree. I think it's only an improvement. I would move to approve as submitted.
I will second. Calling the roll, Carl Carlin,
Yes.
Matt Foreman, yes. Quickly moves us along to our second agenda item.
Heading for a record.
Don't jinx it. 2912 Collier Avenue. Is the applicant here? In contrast to our first submittal, since this is a new residence, and I know I have comments that I would make before making a motion on this one, I've moved a table for the next meeting. See?
Hello?
Yes. Are
Hi.
you
Yeah.
for? There
This
we
is J.R. Mayer with Prestige Custom Homes.
All right.
Your timing is impeccable.
Yeah, I was just trying to figure out how to unmute myself, so I apologize.
All right, so you're here for 29?
2912 Collier, yes.
All right, I am going to, can't remember, I don't believe I need the cover sheet to really, oh, yeah, it's got a front elevation. Get some documents open while you tell us about your project, please.
Yeah, so this is the furthest south lot of a 3-lot development we have off Collier and at the corner of Collier and Pendleton. We are finishing the lot to the north as we speak. So there is one lot in between here. This is a sold to be built home. But yes, ranch style home. Within floor level and yeah, pretty straightforward, really.
All right, so we're on this corner, which has seen a lot of activity lately.
Yes, we're probably just to the south of that red dot you got there. So right where your cursor is the lot in question. The corner lot there at the corner of Collier and Pendleton is the one that we are finishing up as we speak, with an empty lot in between.
All right, and I think we've also seen a new home for 8818.
Yes, that one's currently going, not by us.
A lot going on over here. All right, so getting to your submission, that's where you're positioned on the lot. So you've taken advantage of the full buildable width. So
Yes, we left ourselves just a little bit of wiggle room. But yeah, for the most part, we've maximized the width of the setbacks.
all right, so front elevation and map, and then house fit, first floor plan. Given the front elevation, and this is a one-story house, I do appreciate the detailing and the brick. I like the materials. A lot of good things going on here. The concern I have, I think we can address pretty easily when we look at the floor plan in conjunction with the elevation. The front porch is set back 2'3" from the face of the garage. And one of our fundamental premises, you've got enough width that we've got a nice balance between the 21 foot of the garage and the 28 foot of the rest of the house. But I believe what we could do is pull the front porch out at least equal, if not a wee bit proud, of the garage, just to, as you're driving down the street, emphasize the importance of the front porch over the garage, because we do like to see the front porch be a more important building element than the face of the garage. And this one, because it's a nice, simple one-story house, I think a simple tweak on the roof slope right here. I know you've got a 412, but I think we can scooch that a little bit. When I saw it in the side elevation, the 412 here looks like you're coming right equal with or just shy of the ridge. So our hope is, my hope is, because I haven't talked to Carl, that we can get this out equal with that front eave, possibly pushing that intersection back up just a little bit, even if that means this ridge line here, that valley would continue just a wee bit from there up to somewhere here and then across to let us get a 4 and 12 roof slope for the longer distance. Am I making sense?
Yeah, no, that makes total sense. Couple things, if you're okay with it. It's 2'3" from the face of the columns. So you call it 1'11" to the edge of the roof. Are you okay if I would like to offset that, even if it's a few inches? Because if that column is flush with that front corner, I think it'll look goofy, the half column along the garage wall. So if you're okay with it, I'd like to bring that forward to, call it 6 inches, 4 inches. That way, I think it would look all right. We could put a corner board in there and kind of hide that column seam. That makes sense to you?
I can't see the dimension from the back side of the column to the face of the house.
The back side is 3'6" plus 3'8", so 7, 8 foot, 2. which I think that'll be fine. I'm just thinking aesthetically from that half column on that front corner.
So there's a
'Cause that front,
3.6 from the back of the column.
Yeah, so there's no way that's 8 feet now.
yeah, it's 3'6" to the 2x12 or 2x10 header. Then another 3'8" from that to the
Oh, he's going back to the
Yeah,
front
no,
door.
in there, but the left half of the porch is like
Oh, I'm sorry.
totally unusable. Yeah, so I think the dimensions we're talking about would also be helpful for that.
Well, and also
So
that the 2'3" is from the face of the brick, which again adds to the 4 to 6 inches. I think would be ideal.
So where I was gonna go with that was exactly that, to the brick veneer, because one of the things we've done in the past is actually request that the brick turn back. But if we're killing two birds with one stone, if we bring this column forward and
How does that look? Out of curiosity.
we're pulling this forward to align with that edge of the brick, we can make a rational termination of that veneer surface using the column pilaster.
But
And-
now that column, the brick is dying essentially in the front half, not quite front half, but almost front half of that column. That's why I was trying to put it right behind that brick veneer, and even run the brick veneer long or what to hide that seam. I'm worried about how the brick is going to meet the column. Is my concern. I'm in agreement with you for bringing it forward. That's fine. It's just how we do it.
Yeah, I think we're down to the game of inches
Yes.
at where the column. My thought was being able to use the column pilaster to actually cover the last half inch of the end of the brick. So that the column then was the transition between the siding wall on the side of the porch and the brick veneer on the front face of the house.
I mean, I think if I was going to do this, the way I would approach it, I would try to figure out what the roof edge is doing, because like I think the gutter at the front of that thing and then the roof edge is now having some kind of relationship to the face of brick. That's probably what I would try to figure out, and then I'd set the column from there. That's how I would do it. So like, what is the relationship we want there? Do we want the roof edge of the gutter to be out in front of the brick face, or
Well-
just inside of it so that the gutter can die into something? And then that's how I'd set the column, I think.
But he's also got he's got a fascia board above the brick. So it's almost like we want to take column up against the corner board and leave it just shy, because if we put the column proud, it's going to stick over this.
Yeah, I don't think the column should go proud. I'm just not sure what then. So if we take the column and push it out, that little piece of roof goes out with it and the gutter goes out with it. So then how does it just return back to the garage is my only question.
I mean, you'd only have like 6 inches of a return gutter there, give or take. Or actually, what is it?
I mean, essentially, that's what we're asking for.
I mean, I think that would answer all the questions if it was done that way, or at least for
Keep
the.
it just, an inch or whatever back from the corner board.
Mm-hmm.
That should line up with the framing in the wall, because you've got the double header up here. And if you look at it and plan, that double header then can bear right back in there.
Yeah. I'm in agreement with that for sure.
All right, so I'm just going to leave these, I'm going to leave the markups in here for.
Well, in my notes, the architect are just going to hold the column snug with the corner board.
Yeah.
So the follow up to that, and I'm in agreement with pulling it forward. We're going to lose that window in the gable. I guess my
hang on.
I'm guessing. I should say I'm guessing we're going to lose that window.
You work on that. Stop. Get out. toolbar that popped down and got in my way.
I mean, the obvious answer is just to make it not 4 and 12. I mean,
If we drop below 4 and 12, we just do extra ice and water shield.
Yeah, and I'm not worried about the front porch in that regard. It's just that it goes all the way back up in there above the bedroom and both bedrooms, and it becomes a pretty large stance.
Usually throws me a nice little guideline that I can use to calculate and make sure I'm hitting the right slope. But I'll do it the hard way. What I'm getting to is I think twelve is 4 and they don't let me draw on CAD anymore. Lets me in Revit either. I don't trust that. It doesn't feel right because that's 4 and 12 down there. All right, this is not an egress window.
Correct.
I would say that a simple answer that I was trying to validate is you've got an 8-foot dimension right here. That if this line,
And pull it forward.
pull it forward enough that you keep your sill relationship to the roof slope below. And I was trying to do the math, but I can't. I apologize. So I would say if that has to go to 7 foot or something
Yeah.
to hold
No.
the roof line, that should be a pretty clean.
No, you're right.
I'll delete all
I'm
my
okay with-
shenanigans over here so we don't have to worry about those markups.
I saw that the materials were submitted, and so that I didn't have any questions on those.
So the other typical comment that I saw for the right side elevation in the rear would be window trim, door trim.
Yeah,
Okay.
she was getting to that. Yeah, that's, I think we've sort of asked for that on every project for a very long time, and certainly probably the other projects you're doing there.
Yeah, that's my fault.
Yeah. And ideally, something along, there's we've approved various things, but something in the 3 to 4 inch range is better than something in the just the J mold, you know.
Yeah.
And then also, although it is a 1-story building, it's sort of quite wide and deep, and so the gable is actually getting kind of tall at the two sides. So something to break up that expanse of siding, I think, on both side gables would be helpful. So sometimes people put a trim board across, you know, at a datum height to sort of break it up into two halves. Sometimes people change the siding to shake or something in the gables. It's really up to you, but I think something that would help break that mass down would be a help.
So you'd be okay with like a, I don't know, like a 2x10 going across at the, top plate level across both gables?
We've done that before as an answer to the problem. Yes,
Okay.
sort of where the level line is. We've done that before.
Yeah. Okay.
It just helps. It's still the same mass as it was, but it breaks it down.
Yeah, it's totally fine.
And then often it's the same trim color as whatever the trim is.
Yeah, in this case, it'd be white.
I think we've long desired to see the more refined materials at the front of the building. At least turn the corner, if not go somewhere down the wall. I mean, we've certainly approved projects where that doesn't happen. I think coming soon, though, as part of our design guidelines, that's going to become a requirement. So, heads up.
Are you talking full? Are you talking about full span? Or
Probably not.
like
No,
two-
not
2 foot
full, but
returns?
to some kind of reasonable distance back, because it's a long-standing argument, and one I'm certain you're familiar with because you're in the business. But like the idea that somehow the front of a house is magical and the other three sides are something else is a little strange, So I think,
Like this one, we would
Yeah.
say,
Yeah.
like, return it to the window jamb.
for instance,
Yeah.
right, yeah, and so just so you're aware, that's coming and would be preferable in all cases.
That would be typical both sides, correct? All right. Gone pretty deep into this one. I haven't asked if there's any public comment on this submission. That's a no. Camera's not pointed that direction, but Jessica, I lost my interface. Is there anyone else online? Okay.
I didn't have any other questions. Those were the ones I had.
Change this. I'll mess with that later. I'm gonna change, ideally, I'm gonna change the color on these that we pulled up to the front and make that a markup, so. All right, no public comments, any other board comments?
I would move to approve as noted.
I will second. Calling the roll.
You gotta call it.
I said calling the roll, Carl Carlin,
Yes.
Matt Foreman, yes. All right,
Awesome.
so submit
Thank you very-
with revisions when you come in for your permit.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. You guys have a happy and safe holiday season.
You as well.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, update from the building director or building official? That would be you.
Yeah, thanks. Almost forgot. We did have the meeting for the design guidelines, and those are going to be on the city website and then they're going to put those on other multiple places so people can look at them, make comments on everything. I think there was a pretty good turnout for the meeting the other night. So, and I do not have anything for next month. So for right now, we're good. Is there anything else? Which one? Oh. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. The December meeting for next year, there was I think a request to maybe move that, make it earlier or move it up a week. And it's something for you guys can think about and let us know.
Sure, let's do it.
The other one is always, the first week of in August. That meeting always conflicts with the first day of school and
Oh, yeah.
so not as much of a concern for me at the moment, but yeah.
Sure, I think I would vote in favor of that.
I agree.
Did you want us to look at August too?
That one typically has been problematic, getting attendance around there. Now, I think
Make a note to do that.
we're at the point where I think all of our kids are going to be out of school. I think Paul's are as well, but in deference
Driving to college is also a problem then, so.
Yeah.
and future board members, so
I don't have that problem anymore, so.
future board members, because Carl and I are not going to do this forever. Even though it's been 20 years or whatever crazy number it is.
Did you have a suggestion for the August meeting? What might work better for you?
I think pulling it forward a week
Okay.
also would be. And if it's really just a matter of pulling it forward a week and then altering when the public notification goes out, that seems pretty achievable.
Yeah. Yeah, we can do that. We'll make those changes.
All right, so there is a section here that didn't have an A under it that I skipped for public comments. Also, no public comments in general. All right. Any other items? Move to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Stand adjourned.